There's your coat.
Hey, I said it's no point.
There's your bottle. There's your bag. Right, let's go.
Can you hold my bottle? Daddy, don't forget your mini camera.
Well, that's them dropped off at school. If only it was a day now of going home, drinking coffee and putting my feet up, but unfortunately it's the exact opposite. Got loads to do today. First job is to nip across to another village not far from where the kids go to school. I've got to buy tickets for a fireworks show on Saturday night, and I've just realised I don't have any cash, and I hope they take a card because I don't even know if there's a cash point machine out here. It could be a wasted journey. But after that, a bit of running around, and at some point I want to talk about Hyundai and Kia, but a little bit more about that later on. I need to concentrate on these country roads. Well, that didn't go well as I thought. I needed cash, but never mind. It's a lovely drive out here and back. Next stop, the gym.
Good morning, CYC. David speaking. How may I help?
Good morning. I called and spoke to one of your colleagues about a week or so ago about a CHAdeMO cable that wasn't working. I just wondered if I could find out if there's any update, if it was now working or not.
Okay, it hasn't been repaired yet, sir. We've got 3 reports from other customers saying exactly the same thing as yourself, that the CHAdeMO isn't working. Okay. Now, unfortunately, cables do take quite a long time to change. Right. It's exactly the same with just about everybody. They're just a very special item. Okay. Let me have a quick look and see if I can find out where we are with it on the CYC system.
That'd be great. Thank you.
I bet it's a CHAdeMO you want, is that right?
Yeah, that's it, unfortunately.
Sorry about that. So, okay, we'll get that fixed as soon as possible. Unfortunately, it does take a bit longer for a cable to turn up on.
Okay, I'll give it a couple of weeks and I'll give you a call back to see how it's going on then.
Yes, sir. Lovely. Okay. Just call in and we'll find out where we are with it, yeah?
Brilliant. Okay, thanks ever so much for the update.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Cheers, take care, bye-bye. Well, I don't know if you got the gist of that. That was trying to get an update on the charge unit that I reported broken. Actually, the charge unit works. It's just the CHAdeMO cable, which is really frustrating because where it is, it's en route to where I commute to. And going back a few weeks, I don't know if you remember, I've changed now where I base myself at work. I was hoping that this unit, it's a charge your car rapid charger that's not far from where I'm working. I was hoping that it would be up and running by now because it would give me the option to be able to take my Leaf with me to work. Unfortunately, it's right on the cusp of kind of what it can do mileage wise. That's so much better. Gym done. I always say, doesn't matter what mood you're in, if you go and have a workout, it makes you feel so much better in yourself. So yeah, happy and ready for the day to begin now, which is slight contrast to the article that I read last week. It was talking about Hyundai and the amount of the Kona, which is their new kind of SUV that they're about to produce, the amount of the Kona all electric vehicles they plan to produce. Now, Hyundai and the Ioniq, we've spoken about in the past, and when I test drove it, as far as I was concerned, at the moment, for what's available on that car, the range it will do, it is by far and away the best electric car on the market, in my opinion, that I would consider affordable. So that's taking your Teslas out of the equation completely. What let it down was the fact that they're near on impossible to get new. By the end of it, I'd worked out if I had ordered a new one, it was going to take about 8 months before I got it. So, you know, I and a number of other people would just forget that completely, because you know, EVs at the moment are a bit like mobile phones or computers. You know, in 8 months' time, the market is going to be massively different because it's evolving so quickly. So, you know, a definite success which has been let down by production numbers. Now, the Kona, if they make that in sufficient numbers, as far as I'm concerned, Hyundai will take over the market for affordable electric cars. They will outsell Nissan, they'll outsell everybody, because they have got an absolute winning formula there. An SUV, which is mega popular at the moment, combined with it being all electric, which people want. The only thing that's holding them back is the range, and it looks like it's going to have a real world range of somewhere around 200 miles. Well, that's kind of the magic number that everybody quotes. So the formula there to sell these things in massive numbers, it's ready to go. But they're not going to. They've announced that their worldwide production to begin with is going to be a little bit over 18,500 units. So real disappointment for me, really. Hyundai, they're poised, ready to take over the market, I think, and for whatever reason they just don't want to. And I've got a few thoughts on that. Just my own thoughts, might be completely off the mark, but having just had that workout and guzzled a load of water, I need a cup of coffee before I go any further. So I'm just nipping into town. I'm going to grab a coffee, on to the next stop, and I'll talk to you about those thoughts in a bit. Right, that's better. So why are Hyundai making so few cars? Ultimately, for me, they're not making this vehicle because it will cost them too much to make it, and I think that's the key. Now, the thing is with making electric cars is they're very expensive to make, and the cost of them is pretty much in the battery. So if we look at this Kona as an example, they're going to make that car across their range of engines. So they're going to have a traditional ICE one, they're going to have a hybrid one, and they're going to have an EV. So what is it about the cost that is inhibiting Hyundai from producing these new vehicles by the masses to try and meet the demand that I think will ultimately come as soon as they launch it? Well, it's got to come down to the cost of the batteries. That battery motor combination, people talk about tipping points, and they talk about the tipping point of when that battery motor combination becomes the same as the internal combustion engine that would have gone in it before. And I've heard in the last month, or read several articles, people saying we've hit that point, we're now there. Well, I don't think we are. We might be with very small batteries, but when you start talking about a 50 kilowatt hour battery that is going to go into, we believe, this Kona, there's no way that the cost is going to equate, and that is where we fall short. If, you know, perhaps in a year, 2 years time, maybe that will be the case, but at the moment I think they're probably producing that vehicle, maybe not at a loss, but the markup on it is so marginal in comparison to its ICE counterpart. They don't want to sell it. They don't want to press this vehicle any more than they absolutely have to. So the easiest way to do that is to cut the productions so it can't meet demand, and ultimately that's what they've done. And I honestly think that is the only reason. It's not about them not being able to get hold of the batteries. We're seeing all these gigafactories being built, battery production's up everywhere. You know, if they were that serious, they would start, you know, investing more in battery production to up the rates of that production process and get more for their cars. They've proved that there's a demand there with the Ioniq, and surely they can see that. Right, all that running around, I'm getting hungry. It's time for a quick stop for a sandwich and a plug in to get a bit of charge, and then we can carry on with the rest of the day. That's better. Right, home to sort out some jobs, and then I've got to go back out and try and get those firework tickets. Well, there we go, got the tickets. Unfortunately got to buy them from a butcher, so I also had to buy some sausages for dinner tonight. And a mate of mine actually lives in the village who's home, and I haven't seen him since I convinced him to buy a leaf, so I'm going to pop in and see him, have a cup of coffee and see how he's getting on with it. Well, that was very pleasant. We spent the afternoon sitting in the sunshine, drinking coffee, talking gadgets. Nice to have a mate that's as into kind of gadgets and wasting money on useless tech as I am. He's loving his Leaf. His wife's got it today. She can charge at work. It's a 30 kilowatt hour one. They're cost of travel has been completely slashed, as we were discussing before. But he did, not long after he got it, he reversed into a post and dented the sort of bottom bit of the rear bumper just above the mud flap, and it was a reasonable sized dent. Hadn't damaged the paint, but just pushed it all in. And he was talking to me about it at the time, and I remember saying to him about, I'd seen a video on YouTube where somebody put hot water on it and managed to pop it out. Anyway, he gave it a go and he videoed it, and sure enough it works. So I think I've kind of covered off what I wanted to say today, really. Hyundai was the big point. My concerns around production, and I hope they're unfounded, and I do hope that they find a way of producing more vehicles to meet the demand that there is definitely going to be. But for now, if you've enjoyed today's vlog, remember to like and share it, and if you're not doing so already, subscribe to the channel. And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at EV Opinion, and I'll see you again soon.